So this report, the landing pages report, is quite frankly my favorite report in Google Analytics. And so we'll take a little time in here today. But let's go to behavior, site content, and then landing pages. And at this time, we're going to sort by new users. And so just click on that and you should sort from largest to smallest. And the reason I want to do this is because we're primarily looking at this as a marketing opportunity. And so we want to eliminate customers that are really already our customers and are regularly shopping with us, and any sales associates that we haven't eliminated with IP address filtering. So I know we're in situations now with a number of our salespeople working from home, and perhaps we haven't taken their IP addresses out of, and so we just want to eliminate that via filtering. Once we do that, we'll resort a little bit, but I still need to adapt my goals as well. And one of the things that this report will default to often is the first goal that you entered. And so if you click the drop down there, select all goals. So we're looking at all goals into the report. Now this one is an interesting example, and so the number one on here should always be your home page. That's not a surprise. Maybe you'll have some tagged home pages coming up in the top 4 or 5. That's not a big deal, no problem there. But sometimes we'll have something like this where our blog, and so clearly we're paying a third-party blog vendor to add some information to us, and it's really performing well, telling me that it's showing up on Google search pages and consumers are landing on this page. But before we let the SEO provider tell us that this is helping our SEO, we need to look a little deeper. And here's a case where we have a bounce rate of 95%. And so what it's telling me is the consumer is landing on this page and then they're either not finding what they expected to find, or they just don't feel like they need to go anywhere else within the site. And we see that here. So only 1 page per session. And what's interesting about how Google calculates the algorithm now is by quality score. And in this case, Google is going to read this as a poor quality. And so although we are adding traffic to our site, we may actually be hurting ourselves in the SEO algorithm. And so I might advise on something like this to add another experience to this page. Maybe we add a link to a video that's explaining how to begin to troubleshoot the loud engine noise. Or maybe I go to another blog that continues this conversation about loud engine and how we might solve that issue. And ultimately, we want to try to drive consumers to our scheduled service side so we can have our professionals deal with this issue. And you can see there are no conversions from this. So let's do another resort. If you have goals entered, we'll go ahead and sort by the conversion value. And this allows us to see what's truly driving revenue to our store. So with this example, our top is, of course, the home page, but we have a ranking for this pre-approved, which is a credit application that's actually converting extremely well. We have 91 goal completions on this guy. And so this is a place where I want to go through this experience myself and make sure it's a good experience for the consumer. But I think the biggest miss we have in a number of our stores is that this is actually a conversion to nowhere, where perhaps our BDC or our F&I department isn't even processing these applications. So let's double check with our CRM and in our departments and make sure that these conversions are actually getting processed and we're getting deals off them. So if you look a little bit farther down, we have the test drive landing page that I talked about a little bit before. And this is a page that's performing pretty well. If you note that one of them is the raw page from the site and the other one is a Google My Business tagged site. So if you do not have Google My Business UTM tagged or Shift Digital tagged, I would highly recommend you do that. And if you need it Shift Digital tagged, please let me know. I'm happy to help with that. But Google My Business is not natively reported in Google Analytics, and yet it is without a doubt the highest driver of links. And so we want to make sure that we're tracking all that. But so we have this test drive coming in from Google My Business, and it's converting pretty well. So once again, we want to go through that experience ourselves and make sure it's really easy for the consumer to send us their information, and then notify our salespeople and BDCs of how to process this, because it's probably not an automatic add to our CRM. Our BDC will have to add it into our CRM and then do the confirmation process with the customer. And then this one is interesting, where we have this used car SRP appearing in our top ranking. And so it's highly trafficked. It's garnering pretty good conversions. And so this is a case where I already know I have a successful landing page, and perhaps I want to take a strategy of improving this page even further. And maybe I want to reduce my call to actions on this page. Maybe I want to change my call to actions or A/B test this page a little bit. But perhaps this is a good opportunity for me to go ahead and advertise this page, and I want to do an SEM campaign or a PPC campaign to drive more traffic here and sell more used cars.